Welcome to Honest Whispers Review for Sale. On this video, I'll be reviewing 1/8 scale garage model kit Rei Ayanami figure. I don't know who it's released by or the production date, but I did buy this at San Diego Comic-Con 1999. So this figure is over 22 years old, and I believe it came out maybe 2 or 3 years after the anime was released. Again, not quite sure, don't have much information on this, but I'm going to go over 6 different categories to review this. First category is design, covers the overall look and the pose, and I really like this pose a lot. You do see a lot of images of Rei Ayanami holding her arm like this. Usually she has her arm on the front, but definitely this has that similar look as she's holding her arm. Looks great overall, and even comes with a nice little base. And I like how they got the symbol of the nerve like perfectly down right there. And her costume, very nicely done. Everything's well proportioned. It's not a design flaw, but one thing about this model kit though is missing one of the pegs. So it is slightly leaning to her left, and then she can end up, I guess, over leaning to her right. So there is some slight stability issues here. But it should be an easy fix, and looking at the inside of the foot, or at least the hole, there's no glue marks or anything like that. So looks like the person who made this just didn't put it together or forgot to put it on. Should be an easy fix. Can use like a toothpick or something, maybe tape it up to make it fit, or even possibly buy the metal peg through the internet somewhere, perhaps in some kind of a hobby store, might be able to sell them. But beyond that, again, the look is really nice. Everything's well proportioned, and it does look like basically 2D anime characters come to life in 3D. So it's pretty much right on as far as how she looks in the anime. And that's why I'm going to give the design score a perfect 10 out of 10. Next category is sculpting. Covers the details, quality of the sculpt, quality of the mold. And again, this is a garage model kit. Usually they come in pieces, like the hair, head, arms, and possibly one of the legs. And I mean, everything fits pretty much nicely. Details are amazing. Love how the hair is done with her hair pieces sticking out. Very cool. I love how they made it kind of simplified and really looks like how it would be drawn in the anime. So I really like that a lot. I also like how the hair, it's not stuck to the face, or it's not touching the face, especially right here on her sides, the right and left. Kind of adds that extra, like a 3-dimensional look to it. Costume is very nicely done. Everything is so nice and smooth. And then you have a lot of little details like those little rivets or bolts. They look very cool. Even right here on her side, on her rib cage. And then there's some little details. The way it kind of has that natural looking fold or wrinkle on her suit. Right down the side, even right here under her armpit. Fingers are nice. And you could see how the back also, just the way it's detailed and proportioned. The plug suit looks really nice. Even like the way her wrist is. And they made it so, you know, there's no gap here. It is touching her arm, so that's pretty cool. And her butt is nicely sculpted too. Legs are very nice, long and slender legs. And even down to her feet. Her breasts are perfectly proportioned as well. And everything's smooth, like there's no little weird bumps or anything like that. No weird wrinkles or divots or just pimples, bumps. I mean, quality is very nice. And that's why for the sculpting score, I have to do it giving it a perfect 10 out of 10. Next category is colors. Pretty much covers the accuracy of the coloring, quality of the paint application. And you can see just straight off, the colors are perfect as far as the accuracy goes. It's a simple suit. It's not like intricate designs, but there are some definitely nice details that, you know, just the way the colors and everything. You could even see how the little round bumps here, it's a gray color with the black background. And you could see that her plug suit has a nice glossy finish, while her face and her hair has a nice matte finish, which makes the suit kind of stand out and just gives it a like a higher quality look to the figure overall. Now, there are some flaws with the paint application. As I've shown you here, if you take a closer look, there is some bleeding of the gray, so it's not like a perfect circle, especially the top one. Eyes and hairs, lips, everything's perfect here. You might see, you know, slightly like squiggly lines, especially like the black out, or at least the black outline. Like right here, it just kind of gets a little bit thicker compared to when it was. But overall, I mean, that's just kind of nitpicking. Maybe right here, like the black, it's not a consistent line. So again, both inner and outer line of her shoulder right there, you could see how it gets thicker and then thinner. This one right here, a little bit like that as well, especially when you compare to the other lines. It's like right here, the outer line is a bit thicker. And then the inner, that's closer to her shoulders. It's thinner, more consistent. That's really nicely done. And then some of these rivets or bolts, some of them, overall it's really nice. I know there's one that was slightly bleeding. I think it was the back left shoulder, or here it is. And all of these little flaws or, mistakes, whatever you want to call them, I mean, these are something you have to look at really closely to see. Because once you start looking at it from a normal distance without your face in it, in the figure, I mean, really can't tell any of the flaws. Because I know there's just a couple more here, like down her leg, where it gets a bit squiggly. Like right here, you can see like a little, almost like a dot sticking out on the bottom part. But again, over the lines, everything's good. I mean, hardly any bleeding. You can see a little bit of white bleeding into the black line. And again, as I pull back a little bit, you can't tell at all. And her legs are very nicely done too. Only, I know there's certain lines. This side looks great. And of course, at this angle, or even from this distance, really can't tell anything. But once I pull it up really close, it's slightly squiggly. Well, it's not squiggly, but you can see how that one part, it's like it gets kind of light and then dark again. And then finally give you a close-up of the feet. These feet, nice consistent lines overall. So again, these are like very minor flaws. This would be one of the bumps. You can see the black bleeding a little bit right there, just that little bump. But everything else, so close to perfect painting. Just few minor flaws, especially when you're looking at it really up close. Otherwise, I mean, you really can't tell any of the mistakes or flaws. And that's why I give the painting score, or the color score rather, a near perfect 9 out of 10. Next category is packaging. Pretty much covers the design, functionality. Again, this is a garage model kit, so can't say if this is the official box or anything like that. This isn't my writing. This is the listed price, or the retail price, at $19.99. So was pretty expensive. I don't know what this number is. My guess is that it's the model kit number. And then someone wrote like a name here. I did look it up to see if it might be Ayanami Rei, but it isn't. Yeah, I really can't say what that is. I guess I could try using the translator, but I don't know if it can pick up like cursive writing. So the box basically opens up like a book, and then they have the foam cut out. If I could get that nice zoom here going. So not much of a design for the box, but it's functional. It does protect the figure, both the base and the figure, which it is stored separately. And the box is pretty sturdy. But otherwise, not much you can say about it. It's just a normal box. I'm not sure if the model kit came in the box, because again, when you buy the model kit, it comes all in separate pieces. As I mentioned, for this, I could tell that the hair is separate, the face or the head is separate, possibly both arms. I know definitely her left arm, the folded arm, is separate, and I'm thinking one of the legs is separate as well. And then they come back unpainted, just whatever the plastic color is. So not much with the box, but because it functions, I'm gonna give it a below average 3 out of 10. Next category is value. Covers the suggested retail price versus the aftermarket price, and the potential for, growth as far as aftermarket prices go. And with garage model kits, really hard to gauge, I guess, the potential, even like its actual value, just because it's pretty rare. I wish there was like a certain type of date or something, a little more details. Definitely shows that this is one of the earlier garage model kits of Rei Ayanami. Again, I wish there was like some kind of database that I could look up as far as, which model, when it came out, and things like that. As far as the price goes, I do remember negotiating the price down a bit from $430. I can't remember exactly how much I bought it for. It's just been too long. My guess is probably, I know I got a lot off compared to the written $430. So I probably got it for around, like, my guess, like $300. And right now I'm gonna list this for sale. Probably, I mean, I looked it up. There's no figure like this. I mean, there's a lot of Rei Ayanami figures made, but yeah, just not really much. At least one exactly like this isn't available, so really can't say. I mean, I would be very happy if I could sell it for like 600. So I'll probably list around that price and then go down from there. So definitely garage model kits, really depends. I mean, this character is really popular, so there's a lot of statues and figures made. So that's my biggest worry, that it's not going to fetch the price that I want, just because there's so many versions of her out there. But still, it is very rare and unique, so potential there. That's why I'm just going to give it an above average 7 out of 10 for the value score. Final category is overall. Accumulates the 5 prior categories: design, sculpting, colors, packaging, and value. And for me, this is probably one of my favorite Rei Ayanami figures of all time. It's kind of why I kept it for so long. Unfortunately, I never got to display it. This is my 3rd time opening this figure, or taking it out of the box. First time when I bought it. Second time when I made a unboxing and inspection video. And this is the 3rd time, which I'm going to be taking pictures after the review video and then putting it back into its cells. So I did save it. Unfortunately, not able to keep it due to, just financial issues, and of course, just not having as much space as I did before. But like the overall look, love the quality, love the painting, love everything about it. If I decided to keep it, I would probably buy a little metal peg and just, add the peg to the front leg or the front foot, so that she just has a little bit more stability. That's why I give the overall score a 9 out of 10. So to recap, design, 10 out of 10. Sculpting, 10 out of 10. Colors, 9 out of 10. Packaging, 3 out of 10. Value, 7 out of 10. And overall, 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Continue reading the King James Version Bible and eat your vitamin C's daily.